Today has been an amazing and significant day. Not only is it about appreciating beauty, but also raising awareness for marine conservation. And Colombo Jewelry Stores, together with Dr. Asha de Vos and Ocean's Well, have absolutely conquered it. Thank you so much for each and every one of you for being part of this wonderful journey. This is Dana for High TV.
Dear invitees, members of the press, thank you for being with us on this very important day. As you all know, Colombo Jewelry Stores has been creating timeless and stunning masterpieces for almost a century now. But they always do this whilst creating and inspiring a social conscience for environmental issues, such as the Unforgettable campaign, which raised awareness on the elephant and human conflict. Tonight, Colombo Jewelry Stores is joining hands with Dr. Asha de Vos and Ocean's Well, and together they will be embarking on a journey into the depths of the sea. It is time to invite the man of the evening. Please put your hands together as we invite on stage the CEO of Colombo Jewelry Stores, Mr. Akram Kasim.
Good evening and welcome to Ocean Blues. Colombo Jewelry Stores was founded by my late grandfather, Taha Kasim, in 1922. He was an ambitious 22-year-old with a vision and a dream. A vision to set up a jewelry store in Colombo that would only sell fabulous gems and fashionable jewelry and never compromise on quality. His dream was to see that the store flourishes during his lifetime and continues to grow thereafter. He believed that this brand would thrive if we all live with passion and serve with joy. 96 years later, the store has continued to grow on the founding principles he set in place for all of us to follow. My first encounter of seeing an elephant in the wild was with him in Hambantota when I was 4 years old. I'm grateful to him and my parents for nurturing and developing my passion for the wild in this amazing country we live in. The CJS campaign each year focuses on an element of the brand's heritage and passion. While traveling around Sri Lanka last year, I was extremely distressed to see the increasing destruction, garbage, and pollution on our oceans and beaches. The garbage ends up destroying the marine life and the fragile ecosystem that we have and enjoy. We as a nation are blessed with an amazing biodiversity around us which we do not need to destroy to develop this country. It's something we must all strive to protect. This was what inspired me to come up with Ocean Blues, a campaign which showcases the beauty of the ocean we are surrounded with, while creating awareness of the urgent need for ocean conservation. As I'm just an accountant selling jewelry, I needed to partner with someone who was not only an expert in the field of marine conservation, but also has a passion for the ocean as I do have for my jewelry. It had to be someone who lived with passion and served with joy. Only one person came to my mind, Dr. Asha de Vos, an amazing personality in the field of marine conservation in Sri Lanka, an outstanding individual who has inspired a generation to never give up on saving the fragile oceans and ecosystems. A global award winner who has brought glory and fame to Sri Lanka over the years. Someone I'm happy and excited to partner with to raise awareness on marine conservation and research. I believe that all of us as individuals can contribute, even in a very small way, to save our biodiversity and ensure that future generations can enjoy this beautiful island we live in. Thank you, Asha and Ocean Wells, for agreeing to partner with CJS. Thank you to all the media for your presence here today and for covering this partnership. I would also like to thank Cape Valley-Gama for providing us a complimentary accommodation for the campaign shoot, and Sri Lanka for all the logistical support for the shoot. And finally, thank you all for coming here tonight, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akram, for those inspiring words. And now it is time to invite the lady of the evening. Please put your hands together as we invite on stage an international award-winning marine biologist, an ocean educator, a National Geographic explorer, also Sri Lankan of the Year 2018, a blue whale researcher in the Northern Indian Ocean, and the founder of Oceans Well. Please put your hands together for the one and only Dr. Asha de Vos.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. It's indeed a really exciting evening for me and Ocean Swell to launch this partnership with Colombo Jewelry Stores. As you can imagine, as you saw, we have some very specific missions. We're very driven to serve our country, but also to nurture that next generation of diverse ocean heroes and change the trajectory of marine conservation as it exists today. And we pick our partners very carefully. As you can only imagine, it's important that we align with people who share our passion, our values. And when I was approached by Colombo Jewelry Stores and Akram, I did my background reading and I looked at the stuff they'd done, and I was incredibly impressed by their passion to actually create change with their skills and with their expertise. And so it's a great evening for me, and thank you so much for coming along on this adventure with me. I can promise it will be one heck of an adventure. For us, most important thing, again, like I said, we want to change what's happening, not just in Sri Lanka, but globally as well. Because 70% of our coastlines are in the developing world. But if you go for meetings or gatherings about marine conservation anywhere, I'll be one of a very, very few that represent this part of the world. And I think if we want to save our oceans, every coastline needs a hero, a local hero. And those local heroes can come from absolutely everywhere. And we have to be open and inclusive in our efforts. And in line with that, the first project that we want to do is this acoustic tracking, looking at trying to figure out, what's going on in our oceans. We look at the oceans and we see what's going on above, but underneath, the noise levels are increasing. For animals that see their world with their ears, this increase in noise can be detrimental. But to be able to actually effectively cover our coastlines, we realize that it can't be just me going out on a boat and trying to collect the data. What we want to try to do in this partnership is actually bring in fishermen as sentinels of the sea, make them our partners, and help them to become part of the solution and not just part of the problem, because we spend a lot of time pointing fingers at different people, but we don't give them the opportunity to come on board and be part of a journey of conservation. So that'll be the first project that we launch on. And then the second one is a very simple frequently asked questions booklet for the whale watch operators. I can tell you when I'm out on the water, I get calls constantly. from the other boats going, Miss, how long does how many babies does a blue whale have, or how big is the blue whale baby? And the thing is, at the end of the day, if we want to upgrade our product, if we want to sell a product that's truly going to at some point be sustainable, and we have a long ways to go, one of the most important things is education. We have to be imparting education, or all we're doing is destroying this environment. But what can we do to enhance these people's visit and make sure people's minds are growing, that their hearts are growing, that they're engaging with the ocean in a different way? And so for us, I feel like this is a simple thing, but it's an absolutely important thing. And that will empower these whale watch operators to do a much better job than they're doing today and not rely on one single source of information. As you can imagine, that's not feasible and doesn't make sense. And the third thing is to empower and create sort of skills building workshops for local students. I believe that Sri Lanka is full of students with talent, but they have lacked opportunity for the longest time. And with my work, we've created a marine conservation movement, and today I have hundreds of kids writing to me saying, I want to do this. I see this as a career. This is a path I want to go down. So how do I fill that gap? How do I allow them to be part of this journey and not, because let's be frank, when I die, I don't want this all to end. I want someone else to take over and keep running with the baton. And in order to do that, we want to build these skills. We want to give these students the opportunities to learn, to empower themselves so they can go beyond and do great things with their own lives. And so, I'd say one of the big words that I would use to describe what we do at Oceanswell is create opportunity. And by partnering with CJS, I know we can create opportunity and we can have a long adventure ahead. And I'm super excited about this. And I thank you all for being here at the launch on this momentous occasion and sharing it with us. And we hope you'll keep following and keep supporting and cheering along. Thank you.
We got with us the absolutely wonderful Mr. Kasim with us. So tell me, it's a significant and a wonderful partnership. So how important and significant is it to you?
It's very important because everybody has to save the environment we live in. We live in one country, one world. And if we let that die, we all die together with it. So everyone as individuals, corporates, media can all do our own little bit to help conserve and save the environment. We have to save it because otherwise it will be too late. And everyone can do it. It's not, you don't have to wait for governments to do it because generally it's not done, or politicians to do it. But all of us have to do it on our own. And collectively, I think we can all make a huge difference in saving the ocean or elephants or whatever we plan to do.
So what was the exact moment you thought, this is the partnership that I want to get into?
The concept behind the idea was, I've seen destruction and damage on the oceans all over. Even if you peep out of the ramparts in Galle Fort, all you see is bottles thrown down or broken pieces, alcohol bottles that are dumped in the sea and stuff like that. Or you go down to Miriso or Valigama and you watch when a whale boat comes in, the amount of plastic bottles and garbage that is collected after each boat. It's shocking because all that ends up in the sea and destroys the whole marine life and the ecosystems that are necessary for us to survive.
And it's absolutely wonderful that you're part of so many and wonderful initiatives. So let's talk a little bit about the collection that has inspired you together with this partnership.
The collection, I do collections every year and maybe twice a year. This is called Ocean Blues. So I used images and looks of the ocean floor and all the sea urchins, starfish, and the inspiration from that to create a collection that is different and outstanding.
And talking about what future plans that you have in store and what can we expect?
I don't think too far. I plan one campaign at a time and then try to do the best for that. And this is interesting partnership with Dr. Asha de Vos. So we had 3 projects initially outlined. So we need to go into that. It's a long-term plan and it won't just finish off in a hurry. And gradually as we go along, we'll add on more stuff. Our brand ambassador, Jacqueline Fernandez, is also very keen on developing this partnership, as she is also a keen environmentalist who supports a lot of causes all over the world.
And we are back celebrating a wonderful partnership indeed. And to tell you more about it and the significance of today, we got the beautiful Linda with us. So tell me, Linda, what are your thoughts about the collection? Did you have the chance to see it?
Yes, I had a chance to see the collection. And actually, I'm really super proud of Akram and Colombo Jewelry Stores for doing this collaboration because I'm a huge fan of Asha and her work. And to see the jewelry pieces and this whole collaboration, it's really quite special for me at least, yeah.
Talking about how special it is, how important do you think are partnerships such of this nature?
Yeah, I think it's a really unusual partnership because, I mean, normally, actually, I've known Akram for years, and Colombo Jewelry Stores is one of the first events I've actually been for, you know. And I think you always see jewelry with celebrities and, you know, I'm in the fashion industry, but I think Asha is really a new age voice and a new generation voice. So I think something like this is really something special and would really talk to the next generation.
So what are your thoughts about the collection today?
I think more thoughts on the whole idea of the conservation. Asha has really inspired everybody. I mean, my daughter, who is 11, went to her talk at school that she made at Ladies College, and she made such an impact that will change an entire generation. And I think Akram's dedication to the nature is not something that he's just doing social media or something. It really is in his blood. I always tell him, this selling jewelry is just something you do in your pastime. Your real passion is in saving the wildlife and the nature. So I think it's an amazing partnership. The collections that are doing, they're obviously driven by passion. And Asha would really bring in the reach that she has. It's not about jewelry. She's going to change a lot, and we need the change that she's really bringing about. So the jewelry would be socially conscious.
Okay, so what do you think about the collection, Michelle?
Well, I like how Akram has used a lot of gems that are unique to Sri Lanka, especially sapphires and aquamarines. We have some of the best that, you know, are mined. And with the collection that has just launched, I love the colors, how the gems really, you know, represent the ocean, and, you know, sapphires, aquamarines, pearls, diamonds. It's all about the waves and, you know, the life underwater.
Dr. Asha de Vos with us right now, and I must say I'm so proud and so thrilled to be doing this interview with you. First up, the significance and the importance of this partnership to you and your cause.
I think it's really an important partnership because, you know, we have a grand mission at Ocean Swell. We want to change the trajectory of marine conservation. We want to bring in a bigger diversity of ocean heroes. We want to get more people talking about the oceans. But we also realize we can't do any of this on our own. And we need partners. We need partners who share our passion, but also our values. And that's what we found in Colombo Jewelry Stores. Lots of people say, oh, that's an unlikely partnership. But that's what's unique about it, right? It's like there are elements in there that, you know, we see their commitment to the environment. We see their commitment to Sri Lanka. And it's a Sri Lankan brand, which we obviously are very proud of being ourselves. We're a Sri Lankan non-profit. And in so many ways, I feel like we have parallels, there's so many synergies, and it was a really tempting partnership, and I'm so excited to be able to launch it tonight.
Okay, so talking about synergies, I know it's not easy, and sometimes it's very selective when it comes to partnerships. So describe the exact moment you thought that, okay, you know what, this is what I want to be part of.
So I actually, when they first approached me, and I went and met Akram, had a conversation. They showed me a little more of what they've done. And of course, I was like, okay, this is really exciting. I love it. I think this might be good, but I tend to be very fussy about these things because obviously it's a brand. My own brand is something that's really important, and I've always had a certain standard. So, you know, we don't want to destroy that in one clean swoop. So I went off and, you know, I thought about it, and I kind of did my own background reading. And the more I looked into it, I realized, you know, for me, partnering with Sri Lankan companies is really important. People who see the beauty of our oceans, which they clearly do, and they depict it in a totally new and different way. We love working with artists, and this felt like that sort of a thing. So as I thought more about it, I thought, you know, this is different and unique, but it's totally worth taking the risk. And I think based on what I've seen with their other partnerships, you know, they're not fleeting moments, they're long term, and that's something we always look for. It's because if you want to make change, it's all about long term.
Talking about how hard you are working for the cause, how has Sri Lanka developed or developing in terms of awareness for marine conservation?
That's a great question. When my first news piece went out about my work in 2011 about the blue whales in Sri Lanka, it was done by Channel 7 Australia. It went viral, and I had thousands of Sri Lankans writing to me and saying, we didn't know we had whales in our waters before we saw this. And I was like, wow, like this is crazy, right? A simple step. And since then, you know, now the awareness is gone all the way to people wanting to know, are we making change? There are certain conservation issues we've talked about. People are following the work and want to know, like, what's the government doing? Are they responding to you? How can we help? And to see that mind change for me, and then there's a whole new generation of now young kids who see the work and they believe that being a marine biologist is a real job, which is amazing, you know. And there's so many people who want to go down that field, and I mentor a lot of students who are now going to study marine biology, and to me that's incredibly exciting. This is like a dream come true, but we're still at the very beginning of a long dream.
So what are your thoughts about today's collection?
I think the collection is absolutely fabulous. Interestingly, we partnered with Colombo Jewelry Stores in the creation of the product, because I work with Untitled Chapter, which is the yacht charter company, and they used our boats for the production. So I saw some of the pieces before it was launched. I don't think we are supposed to say that, but they're really fabulous pieces. They picked up all the tones of our oceans, so I think it's fabulous.
And how significant do you think are partnerships of this nature?
I think Colombo Jewelry Stores is really to be admired, as are some other corporates in our country, to have taken this brave step, because the nature of Sri Lanka is our greatest asset. And if our corporates don't help us to take the steps to protect it and help next generations to understand and learn how to appreciate it and value it, we're going to be in big trouble. So I think it's fabulous what they're doing. I've used the word fabulous too much.
Okay, so tell me about what you think about the collection.
So I think it's really, really beautiful. I love the use of sapphires, aquamarines, and just using blue in general. It's a really nice connection to the ocean. And my mom got a beautiful piece, so it's really nice just being able to look at it on her. And I think it's stunning. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful collection.
Today has been a wonderful celebration of beauty and elegance, and none other than the wonderful partnership between Dr. Asha de Vos and Colombo Jewelry Stores. Until next time, this is Dana signing off for High TV.